Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is MTG Ghoul Dude, and today we're going to be looking at one of my favorite sets for our favorite zomboys, Onslaught. A little bit about Onslaught, and if this is the first time you've been to the channel, this is your first video, welcome to the channel, and this is a series I like to call Digging Up the Past, where we go through Magic's history and we look at all the zombies we've had in the past, and we try and bring on some new light to them. That's why it's called Digging Up the Past. But a little bit about Onslaught. Onslaught was the 27th Magic the Gathering expansion, was released in October 7th, 2002. It featured a theme that focused heavily on tribal cards and the ones that supported certain creature types. But none of those matter except for the zombies. So let's go on ahead and get started with a Cursed Centaur. A Cursed Centaur is a one drop for 1 black. It's a 2/2. When it comes into play, sack a creature. If you want to get super aggro, you can go on ahead and play this for 1 and sack a useless creature or a token somebody gave you. Uncle Fester, the Festering Goblin. For 1 black, it's a 1/1. Festering Goblin is put into a graveyard from play. Target creature gets -1/-1 to end the turn. There's a way you can loop this. You can just hand out -1/-1s like it's buy one, get one. Shepherdor Rot, probably one of the more staple cards in zombie decks nowadays. For 1 and 1 black, you get a 1/1, but its ability is what we crave. For when you tap it, each player loses 1 life for each zombie in play. Now granted, that does actually do you too, but hopefully by the time you've aggroed out, Shepherdor Rot is really looking at your opponents more than they're looking at you. And then we come up to the Wretched Honor. For 1 and 1 black, you get a 3/3, but there's a downside. Whenever another creature comes into play, you lose a life. So, yeah, if somebody's playing a token deck, it's about to really hurt. Then Tuco Husk. For 2 and a black, you get a 2/2 zombie insect. It died and still wants to be a pest. Truly resilient. But it has the ability to say that says sacrifice a creature. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and you can do that as many times as you want. And that's great for aristocrat type decks where they want those free sacrifice outlets. Before I get into this one, can we just look and just, if you can't look, this card is called Severed Legion. And it's just so strange because it's only hands. It's nothing but hands across the whole artwork. But anyways, you can look at it for yourself, and it's just one of those strange artworks that you wonder who commissioned this artwork and what was on that docket. But Severed Legion, for 1 and 2 black, you get a 2/2, and it has fear. That's it. My favorite part about this card is strictly its flavor text. And it says, no one in a fedo answers a knock at the door after sundown. Spine Brasher. For 2 and a black, you get a 3/1 with Morph. Does it have any abilities? No. Just morph for 3, it becomes a 2/2, and then you can morph it for 2 and a black. Haunted Cadaver. For 3 and a black, you get a 2/2. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do, that player discards 3 cards from his or her hand. So for the low price of 4 mana, which most discard spells are only 3 for 2, and you don't have to do combat damage. It does have morph where you can actually kind of slide in with it, but I'm not too keen on this one. Fallen Cleric. For 4 and a black, you get a 4/2. It is a zombie cleric with protection from clerics. Oh, look out, cleric decks. We're coming. It has morph for 4 and a black. You can pay 3 to morph it, and you can pay the morph cost to flip it up. It has no other effects. Just like any other churchgoer. Anyways, Anurid Merc Diver. For 4 and 2 black, you get a 4/3. The mana costs are really starting to go up now. It has Swamp Walk. A 4/3 zombie with Swamp Walk. Seems alright for the rate. Bonenetter. We're moving into our uncommons now. For 1 and a black, you get a zombie cleric that you can tap a black and a generic into, regenerate target zombie. And it also has morph. And it's a 1/1. Not bad for regenerate. Fright Shroud Courier. For 2 and a black, you get a 2/1. Regular zombie. But you may choose not to untap it during your untap step. For 2 and a black, you can tap it as long as it is remains tapped. Target zombie gets +2/+2 and has fear. So if you really need that zombie commander to get through, this is your guy. Walking Desecration. For 2 and a black, you get a 1/1. But it has the ability that says tap a black, tap it, and creatures of the type of your choice attack this turn if able. And if you have the biggest board and they're scared to hit you, make them go the other way. Soulless one. For 3 and a black, you get a star, but its power and toughness are equal to the number of zombies in play plus the number of zombie cards in all graveyards. So this could be a very big dude. And it's just amazing flavor text. Surrender your soul to me. No quote from anybody. That was probably just him saying that. Gluttonous Zombie. For 4 and a black, you get a 3/3. It's a zombie with fear. And his flavor text reads, Greed and gluttony led him to death. Now they are his greatest assets. Yeah, I can understand where he's coming from on that one, but I would definitely be afraid of this one. A fedo vulture. For 4 and 6. 4 and 2 black. It's a 6 total. It's a 3/2 with flying. And if you look at the artwork of a fedo vulture, it doesn't look like a zombie bird, but I guess it's because its wings are wearing out. I don't know. And when it's put into a graveyard from play, you may put target zombie card from your graveyard on top of your library. So if you need to sack it real quick to save your something from a board wipe or from a graveyard wipe, you could do it. And then we head into our rares. Intro. Excuse me. I've been having some issues here recently with my setup, so I've been trying to work it out the best that I can. Entrails Feaster. For 1 and black, it's a 1/1. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may remove a creature card in a graveyard from the game. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Entrails Feaster. If you don't, tap it so it doesn't get any bigger. And everybody wants their cat to go big and strong. Rot Lung Reanimator. For 2 and a black, it's a 2/2. Whenever it or another cleric is put into a graveyard from play, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token into play. Now this would be, now that I think about it, this would be really good with a Maskwood Nexus, and you name clerics. So all of your zombie tokens would be clerics too, and you could just cycle through and just get a bunch of zombies. And then, since I guess you're playing white now, for the cleric support, you could play Anointed Procession, you get double the zombies. Yeah, that's just spitballing and rolling into a whole mess. I don't think anybody's ready for. Then we're coming up to Undead Gladiator. For his first iteration. For 1 and 2 black, you can get a 3/1, but you can tap 1 and a black and discard a card from your hand, return it from your graveyard to your hand. You can only do it during your upkeep. But it also has this great cycling ability for 1 and a black, so essentially you could cycle it. If you don't like the card during your upkeep, you can discard it, pay 2 and bring it back to your hand and cycle it again. Doesn't seem like a bad option to me. Gangrenous Goliath for 3 and a 2 black. You get a 4/4, and you can tap up to 3. You can tap 3 untapped clerics you control, return it from your graveyard to your hand. There's some synergies with clerics in this set. Then we get our first iteration of Gravespawn Sovereign for 4 and 2 black. You get a 3/3, but you get an ability that says, and it's a zombie lord without, it's actually the subtype or creature type zombie lord. It's really strange, even though it doesn't do like actual like lord effects that we know of, like +1/+1 or death touch or something. But it has the ability that says tap 5 untapped zombies you control. Put target creature card from a graveyard into play under your control. That's not your graveyard. That's not a zombie. That's any creature. So if you have a huge horde of zombies and you can't swing through anything, just reanimate their best thing. Just take it out of their graveyard, put it on yours in your battlefield. And now we're moving into the cards that support the tribe, but don't necessarily have zombie in them. We're going to start it out with an instant called Cruel Revival. For 4 and a black, you can destroy target zombie creature. It can't be regenerated. Return up to 1 zombie card from your graveyard to your hand. So if you really just don't like some ruin crab or something, you can destroy it for 5 and you can get a zombie to your hand. It's a premium price right there. Then we come up to probably I think it's one of the most hysterical cards in this set in general. Feeding Frenzy. It's an instant for 2 and a black, and target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of zombies in play. Not just yours. So if you really, really want to kill that Ulamog, you can give it -X/-X equal to the number of zombies in play. And if you're teamed up with another zombie deck at the table, it's even better. And Tribal Golem. This will be our last non-land one. Tribal Golem. For 6, it's a 4/4. And it has a whole slew of abilities it can obtain. Like Trample, if you have a beast. Haste if you can have a goblin. First Strike if you have a soldier. Flying if you have a wizard, which I don't know why it specifically says flying for a wizard. You would think it would be like something different. But that was the limited creature types they had back then. And tap a black, regenerate it as long as you control a zombie. Artwork is fairly reminiscent of Golden Karn. And our last card, Unholy Grotto. It's for the beautiful artwork done by Mr. John Avon himself. It's a land that says it can tap for a colorless to add to your mana pool, or you can tap a black and tap it and put target zombie card from your graveyard on top of your library. This is one of those mainstays in zombie decks to keep from having specific cards getting nerfed out of their graveyard before they get to reuse them again. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be all for the day. If you like this content and you want to see more of it, like and subscribe. If you want to see me review anything outside of the digging up the past and anything specific like zombie-based combos or anything outside this, leave it down in the comments below and we can see what we can work out. I'm also on Twitter. You can find me at MTGGhoulDude. But I think that's going to be all for today. And I will see you guys on the next one.